What's up, everybody? This is episode 2 of A Moment with MaddDog, and this week we're actually going to be reviewing my first book in this entire podcast series. And the first book that I'm going to be reviewing is going to be Endure by Cameron Hayes. Pretty much the gist of it, before I go into deeper, more detail about the book, is that I wish that I brought out my highlighter and my pencil or pen and pencil and notes out sooner for this book. So, a little bit of backstory about this book. Cameron Hayes is a well-known bow hunter, ultra marathon runner. He does live a particular lifestyle, right? And essentially, he talks about his upbringing. He talks about challenges that he has faced in all his passions in life, right? And, the gist of this book, again, until we go into further detail, is that what he's trying to convey is that whatever your passion may be, no matter what people may say about it, go full into your passion, because, that's what's not only going to fulfill you in life, but it's going to fulfill other areas of your life as well. So let's get into this book review of Endure. So like I said, I wish I brought out the highlighter notes out sooner, because there is a lot of good life lessons in this book. And full disclaimer, like I said, he is a well-known bow hunter, right? And if that's not your thing, I totally get it. Not everyone's into, hunting and whatnot, but I think he does a really good job of, comparing his passions, which, bow hunting, running, all that, kind of does a good job of conveying how investing into your passion with doing certain things, he got into running because it would help him in the backcountry when he would go out and on his different hunting trips and stuff. How investing into your passions, not only would you have great success, but eventually it would lead to bigger and better things down the road. Now, he said he's been hunting for decades, right? Now, because of everything that he's done, he can provide for his family better than what he was, like, his situation that he had growing up. He can help people get better. He still, funny enough, he still has a day-to-day job, so he's not the type of person that, went full in on the whole, either like social media, full in on bow hunting and stuff. He still has a daily job. He talks about a good bit in this book. He's like, if I don't work my day-to-day job, like, I lose, I'm out of sync. I don't, like, that's just a part of him, is to actually keep on working and not just do like the social media, bow hunting, like all that jazz. So for me personally, I sometimes do have a hard time with reading nonfiction. Depending on the author, depending on what the material is, I can't find a groove on the certain, whatever book it may be. However, this was a very easy read. I mean, yes, there are pictures that he does place throughout the book, pictures and quotes and stuff throughout. However, it still has a lot of good content, a lot of good material. It also helps that I do watch his podcast from time to time, so I know what he sounds like. So that's what I was picturing, imagining in my head. But he does a really good job of ebbing and flowing through the different topics within this book. So the gist of this book, or a good portion, if not most of it, is just pretty much talks about how to follow your passion. Invest in what makes you happy, and good things will come. He doesn't shy away from the fact that you do need to make sacrifices in order to achieve those goals, right? And it's true. Like, sometimes we're going to have to cut time out of our day. Sometimes we're not going to be able to meet with people and hang out with people that we will like to hang out with, right? And that's just part of life. But, like, if you invest into your passion, invest in essentially what makes you happy, because both running and bow hunting makes him happy, that, you know, it will pay off. And the one thing he kept on reiterating, because he does talk about like his good friend Roy, he talks about his family and stuff, is that you need a group around you that supports you. You know, you need the type of people that is going to tell you what you need to hear, not tell you what you want to hear. They're going to push you to be a better version of yourself. So in the whole grand scheme of things is when you are going out towards like working towards getting better in your passion, you do need that group of people that's going to support you, but also be like, hey, like, you know, like back off, or this is what you need to hear right now with whatever passion that you do follow. I also really like his work ethic that he talks about in this book. One of the big things is his big work ethic is work when no one is looking, right? And that's just not anything. That's not just for working out and stuff. It's like pretty much, you know, the work that you put in, how you hold yourself high, like hold yourself through a day-to-day basis, like pretty much hold yourself to a standard that you maintain it even when people are not looking. You know, like sometimes if, you know, someone does let's say a good deed, right? And they only want to do it so they can like post on social media like, oh, like, hey, like I done this good thing or whatever. Like that's not the type of person or the goal that we should strive to be. We will want to be the type of person that does that no matter who's looking or if anyone's looking at all, right? And just continue to implement that type of practice into our day-to-day. And especially with work ethic, that you're still going to work if no one is watching. The one metaphor I think is the correct term he uses is the metaphor of the stone cutter, right? You know, there is this stone cutter, and it's on page 307 in the book, and I marked it down. I did mark this book because I'm going to forget certain things, right? So on page 307, he tells there's the, you know, and this is actually in the Spurs locker room. The Spurs is a basketball team, and they talk about the stone cutter, right? So, and this is the little phrase: when nothing seems to help. Oh, and this is from poet Jacob A. Rise, I think that's how you pronounce his name. But this is what he says: when nothing seems to help, I go and look at a stone cutter hammering away at his rock, perhaps 100 times without as much as a crack showing in it. Yet, at the 101st blow, it will split in two. And I know it was not that blow that did it, but all that had gone before. That passage, that verbiage, shows that putting in the work, no matter how hard it may get, no matter what days that you have that may be harder than others, you put in the work, you chip away at your stone, and eventually that stone will crack. Eventually you'll succeed in your passion, and you'll just get better from there. That also shows that like talent is not everything. Like, yes, like people might be genetically gifted, people might be better at some things than others, and that's okay. Like, as long as you work towards it, if you put a lot of your heart and soul into what you're working towards, you will succeed. And pretty much, you know, no matter what you do, no matter what your passion is, at the end of the day, you know, like if you are worried about people's opinions and what they say and all that stuff, I want to tell you that nobody cares and nobody matters. It's just their opinion. The person's greatest influence that should impact you is yourself, right? All that matters is what you think and about what you're doing, and that's it when it comes to pursuing your dreams and pursuing your passion. And then what's nice is also too is on top of talking about like his passions and what he's worked towards and stuff, he do have like just kind of good rules to live by, like be respectful to others, how to have a strength of character, essentially just be a good person. Like go out in the world and walk in love and be kind to others, you know, like just be a good person. And that's what this book is. Again, this book might not be for every, you know, this book might, since it does talk about bow hunting, people might not read it, and that's okay. I totally understand. However, if you're okay, because he also talks about conservation. He's a big conservationist. If, you know, you're interested in if you're not interested in the bow hunting stuff, but you're interested in the running stuff, I would recommend this. If vice versa, if you're interested in the bow hunting stuff, but not in the running stuff, I still would recommend this. This is a great book that talks about, again, pursuing your dreams, how he's done it, kind of gives you guidance on how you do it, and pretty much just how to be a good person. It was quick and easy read. As you can see, I did mark a bunch of these pages and stuff, and I would say it a 4.5 out of 10. I'm going to put it on the book of books I think everyone should read, because I think no matter who you are, you're going to take something out of this. And I think it's not pretty funny, but that he talks about Rudyard Kipling, which is actually a poet that I've been learning about in my other book, The Happiness Equation, because his poem for his son is in both books, right? And, oh my goodness, my foot. And I'm going to end this podcast. This pretty much this poem that he wrote for his son pretty much sums up what Cameron Hanes' book Endure is about. So I'm going to finish off this moment with MaddDog with this poem, and then we're going to close it out. Okay. Poem by Rudyard Kipling. Again, this is a poem that he wrote for his son. Pretty much kind of giving him guidelines on how to live his life, right? Okay. So, if you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for the doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by caves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with the crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor living friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distant run, yours is earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. Thank you guys for listening. I'm Daniel MaddDog Minetti, and this has been A Moment with MaddDog.